What up, guys? It's Mo from Rita the Meatless, and today I want to talk about how to build muscle as a raw vegan. I want to go back to the basics and teach you guys, that maybe didn't hear the first time I said it, all of the basic things. And, when it comes to building muscle on a raw vegan diet, it's something that's very, very doable. It's not any harder than building muscle on any other diet. In fact, in a lot of ways, it's simpler and easier, believe it or not. Like my meals are simpler now than they were when I was eating, you know, cooked food like typical bodybuilding diet, or when I was eating like a typical vegan bodybuilding diet. I spend less time preparing my meals and stuff like that now. So yeah, it's actually a lot easier in a lot of ways once you get the hang of it. But yeah, that being said, guys, you know, there's a couple of rules you got to follow. If you want to build muscle as a raw vegan, there's a couple things you have to do. And so let's go over them. Let's get right into it. I won't keep you guys. So number one is you got to eat enough calories. Okay, I see a lot of raw vegans and a lot of raw plant-based food is lower in calories than its cooked counterparts. Like if think about this, like if I said to eat like a whole pound of spinach, that would be like insane for you to do. It would take you so long to do it, and your jaw would probably be hurting and everything else. So that wouldn't be, a reasonable thing. But if you cook that same pound of spinach, it would get so much smaller. It'd get way smaller that, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I can eat this no problem. So that's kind of, what you're dealing with whenever, or like, think about like when you sprout a cup of beans, how much beans that is. And how, like, imagine eating that whole cup of sprouted beans versus if you cooked that cup of beans and ate that, that'd be like nothing for you to eat that, right? So when you're eating raw in a lot of situations, the food you're eating is less calorically dense compared to how much room it takes in your stomach, right? It has more water in it, and it's just a lot. There's a lot more volume of food versus how many calories there are compared to cooked food. So yeah, you got to eat enough calories. I see like a lot of girls that are raw vegan that are like, 80-10-10 kind of style. They're eating 3,000 calories or more a day and they barely weigh over 100 pounds. So imagine if you're a guy and you want to build some muscle, right? Imagine how many calories you would need. You see what I'm saying? You got to eat more than that for sure, you know, and not just a little bit more, but plenty more, So, I know for me, like I'm 6'4", 230, and I need about 4 to 5,000 calories to gain weight, right? I can maintain my weight maybe slightly less than 4,000 calories a day, but that's only when I'm eating. If I'm eating enough protein, then yes. If I'm not eating enough protein, I'm getting that same amount of calories from fruit, I will literally shrivel up and lose size. I have to double the calories. When it comes to, if it's just fruit, I got to eat like 6,000 calories a day, which is just, for me, too much, right? So that's why I like to make sure I get my protein so I don't have to eat so many calories in order to hold on to muscle and grow in muscle. So keep that tip in mind. That's a huge tip and a misunderstanding that most people have. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that are like kind of 80-10-10 style. They're like, just eat more and you'll build muscle. That's not true. You have to get enough protein, right? So if you're getting right now, let's say you're a 150-pound guy and you want to be a 180-pound guy. As a 150-pound guy, guys, you need zero point 0.6. Everybody needs zero point 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight to build muscle. So that means 90 grams of protein if you're a 150-pound guy to build muscle, okay? But you want to be a 180-pound guy, so you need to eat for that weight, not the weight that you're currently at, but you need to work your way to eating like a 180-pound guy. I'm not saying you need to do that right off the bat, but you need to work towards that. Right now, eat like a 160-pound guy, then a 170-pound guy, then a 180-pound guy. So that means as a 150-pound guy, you need the 90 grams of protein, right? Then when you start to increase that, every 10 pounds, you need another what is zero point 0.6 grams of protein per 10 pounds, whatever that, what would that be? Why can't I think of what that is? Wouldn't that be 6 grams of protein? Or am I tripping? Yeah. Anyway, if I'm doing my math crazy, it's late, so I don't apologize. But uh, but anyway, so you get your, I think 6 grams more protein. So right, you go up, you make sure you're hitting that number, and then you hit the number that you want to hit for the weight that you want to be at. You want to be 180 pounds muscular, then you need um, I'm not going to do the math right now, right? You put it in a calculator or whatever. I swear I'm normally good at math, but I'm tired right now, so I gotta chill. But and I need to eat. So uh, so that's what you got to do. You got to get your. We already talked about calories. I think did we go from calories into protein? Protein is number two. I feel like I just mixed that in. But anyway, so number one is calories. You got to get your calories. You might need a lot more calories than you think, and you probably do, especially if you're a fruit heavy eater. Then you probably need way more calories than what you think. And you maybe want to consider adding in some protein rich foods in there, like more dark leafy greens, um, maybe more hemp seeds, maybe more buckwheat, maybe more wild rice, maybe more sprouted oats, things like that. So just that have a little more protein in them per calorie. Um, and so, yeah, anyway, so uh, that ties in together, calories and protein. So protein, you got to get zero point 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. That applies to everybody, and you got to do it every single day. You can't just do it every now and then. You really got to get this right, guys. And yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Get your protein. Add foods that have protein. If you want to go the route of protein powder, add in a little bit of protein powder. Just depends on you, right? And some people say protein powder is bad for you. It's not bad for you. I took protein powder for like 20 years. Like it's not bad for you, trust me. Um, like I would know if it's bad for you. It's not. Depends on the protein powder too, of course. Some are bad for you, but yeah. So and then the last thing is exercise. Right, we got to get into exercise. You have to have a structured routine where you're progressing every week and you're tracking that, so you know that you're progressing every week. It's not like a maybe. You're guaranteed. You know, like okay, I got stronger this week because muscle growth is a gradual process, and so you're not gonna go from, you know, one week you go in the gym and the next week you see the difference in the mirror. You're not gonna see it that fast, but you will see that you got stronger. So you gotta make sure that you're doing enough that you can recover from. You're doing enough to stimulate muscle growth, and then you're also giving yourself the time and the space to recover, and coming in and being stronger, right? Getting stronger week to week. That's super important. If you do that, you know you're building muscle. If you're not doing that, you are not building muscle. So don't bounce around from workout to workout and different routines. Just whenever you go in the gym, you do whatever you feel like. Don't do that. Have a structured routine, stick with it, and see that you're making that progress. Um, and yeah, that's it though, guys. But if you need help along this process and you want a custom workout routine, you want uh, to have a custom meal plan, and you want to have coaching one on one with somebody who's a professional and who can guide you, help you to not make the mistakes that most people make just through experience. I am a NASM certified personal trainer, and I'll have my email in the description below. If you want to work with me, just send me an email and let me know, and we'll set up a free call and talk about your particular situation. Um, and let me know what you guys want to see in the next one. But yeah, see you guys. I'm out.